and welcome to Authentic Self with Calders. My name is Samantha, and what we're going to do today is talk about self care. That is what we focus on here on this channel. Our main thing is really to discuss topics surrounding mental health, emotional health, as well as physical well being. So, with that being said, I do want to dive into who I am so that you guys understand who I am and what I'm about. So, simply said, like I stated earlier, my name is Samantha. I am a mother of two toddlers, 2 years old and 3 years old, one boy, one girl. I'm also a practicing nurse, and I'm a mother, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I am a daughter. So, I'm much like you behind the screen. So, with that, I did want to welcome you to my channel. I want to thank you for taking the time to come and check it out. Um, I'm so happy you are here, and I hope we can grow together and we can accomplish many things together, and you guys can take away insight and practical resources that you can apply to your everyday life. So, with that, the reason why we created this channel is because, well, quite frankly, I'm also a business owner. I thought I mentioned that earlier, but now I realize I didn't. So, I'm also a business owner, and the company that I own is Calders Cosmetics, formerly known as Calders. And what we do is we specialize in creating moments and memories that last. The whole idea around that is to basically make sure that you, our valued listeners, are practicing quality self care, holistic self care. So it's more than just having a slow, calm, soothing bath and winding down to some jazz music. It's holistic. So we're taking care of the mind, the body, and the soul. And we're attempting to engage all of your senses. So that is what I do as well. And this channel just simply goes in alignment with that. It gives us a safe space to talk about things that matter concerning self care, how we can manage self care when you're a busy individual, in addition to practicing it in a quality and effective space. So I'm again very happy you guys are here to walk this thing out with me. I'm going to go ahead and say right now to subscribe to the tribe if you would like to gain more information and basically insight again on self care and how to practice that. Now, I did want to mention as well that what we're going to be discussing today is something a lot of us can relate to. If we can't relate to it directly, there are aspects of it that we can relate to. So definitely listen on to find out what's coming next. So, what we'll be discussing today is parenthood. Yay! Parenthood. The reason why I chose this topic is because this is something that a lot of individuals can lose themselves in, whether you play the direct role of a parent or you play the indirect role of a parent to nieces and nephews or family, friends, children, and things of that form. Or even if you're a caregiver, you work in daycare centers, you're an educator, or even if you're just taking care of the elderly or you work in a rehab facility. So there are a lot of reasons and a lot of transferable points that we can discuss that generally impacts everyone. So to get right into it, um, practicing quality self-care for me looks like carving out that alone time. Now, again, I will say it is not easy. And if you're a parent, you know that sometimes when you're enjoying your mean time, your child can come out of nowhere and want to be all up on you. And you're asking yourself, Lord, how did I get here? So I get it. And I live this thing out every day with my kids. And one big thing for us, or one big thing that works for me is practicing organization. In order to practice self care, I need to practice organization in my personal life. And I need to protect my peace as well. But we'll go into that. So, practicing um, intentionality, organization, is making sure that you're holding yourself accountable to the things that you set, the standards that you set for your private life that will enable you to practice holistic self care. What does that look like? Okay, so let's say you come home, you're home with the kids, the kids are watching TV, you have chores to do, you have 10,000 things to do. Prioritize. Prioritize. What do we need to do today? What can we accomplish today with the time that we have that will allow us to practice that self-care, that downtime? And that can be reading a book, that could be listening to music, that could be sipping on some wine. Let's be frank. But what can we do to make sure that that takes place? The reason why we want to ask ourselves this question is because sometimes as parents, we feel like we need to get everything done today. We feel like laundry needs to be done, it needs to be folded, children need to be, their hair needs to be washed, their hair needs to be done. We need to pull out their clothes for the next day, we need to plan dinner for tomorrow, we need to plan events for the weekend. We feel like we just need to do everything at the same time. And a lot of times we're not thinking about it, it just comes into our mind. And this is where intentionality comes in place. We need to be intentional with the thoughts that we entertain, and we need to be intentional with what we choose to prioritize as important. So when I come home with my kids, first thing we do, no TV. Children, play with your toys. Color, draw, use your imagination. And then from there, I give them their snacks, put on some TV to get dinner prepared, give them their dinner. It's a bath, brushing their teeth, and they're down by around 8:30. That is our routine. Now, from 8:30 to 9, I'm winding down. So I'm not diving into immediate self-care. Reason, and let me clarify, when I say immediate self-care, I mean the wine comes out, the music is playing, um, the book is there, and I just plop myself on the couch and I just get into it. No, I can't do that because I was operating at a 10 with my children. I can't just go from 10 to 0 and completely and holistically grab all the benefits from practicing my alone time. So, what I do for that half hour is I have meditation music going, or I have affirmations going in the background on YouTube. And I let that play. I let that play for half an hour. If there's little things that I need to pick up or little things that I need to wipe down, then I do that in that time. But that's my time to really just slow down my pace. At around 9 o'clock, that's when my alone time takes place. My real alone time takes place. What do I do? Let me tell you. So, the first thing that I do is I light my candle. I light my candle. It's not a ritualistic thing, but for me, lighting a candle brings about a sense of calm. When everything is dark and you just have a subtle candle burning and it's giving off a very fantastic scent, it brings a sense of calm to the space and it sets the pace, it sets the ambiance. And then from there, I put on some, instead of meditation music, I put on some jazz music or I put on some neo soul music. And then I take my bath. I don't use a bath. Um, I don't use a bubble bath. I use body scrubs. Reason being is because it's great for the skin. But on top of it, it is an effective, quick and effective way of practicing self care, as far as taking care and washing off the impurities of the body, and also freeing up some extra time should a child wake up looking for me, so I'm not scrambling and completely disrupted. Anyways, from there, then I go on to laying out my custom scented rose petals, have my book out, kick back on the chair, and I unwind. Don't forget the wine. That's what I do. Okay? Might not be your thing, but a glass of wine, and it's not every night. I don't drink every night after the children are asleep. I might have one glass or half a glass of wine, just something to sip on to set the mood. If I have that time that day to really genuinely unwind. But if it's a quick thing, then it's just some music to relax and then I get to work. And that is what I do with my children. And I highly suggest that you do the same, and that you map out what works for you with the time that you have and with the resources that you have. Best thing you can do to set yourself up for success is to plan ahead. Buy the necessary products that you need. Make sure that you have them there. Case in point, Calder's Cosmetics. Calder's Cosmetics provides you with self-care kits that are inclusive of body butters, body scrubs, candles, custom scented rose petals, so that you can practice holistic self-care right in the comforts of your home, any time of day, whenever you have the time available. So this way you're not scrambling. Everything is available to you. We take the work out of the process. And that's just a little plug, but that is something that I use in my personal life. And because it works for me, I want to share that with you. So, moving on, the next thing that we can do to practice quality self care is to go to the spa. Go to the spa. If you don't have the time or you don't live in a space where you can afford a time of quiet, um, and you don't have the resources within that space to practice self care and truly unwind, I would suggest to go to a spa. There are so many spas out there. One that I've gone to in the past that I absolutely love is Elmwood Spa, that is located in the heart of Toronto. Absolutely amazing. The ambiance, as soon as you walk into the room, is magical. It is peaceful, it is calm, it is sensual, it is clean. I would highly recommend you to visit Elmwood Spa downtown. In addition, there are different spa lodges that you can go to as well. Whether it is a day or a few hours, you can go and truly unwind and experience a um, immersed feel in the area of relaxation. I know there's one in Ontario. I'm not sure exactly where it is. If you are aware of the Spa Lodge, there are a few, but there's one recent one, I believe, by Nordic Spa. If you're aware of what that spa is called, please leave the name in the comment section below so other people can look into it should they have any interest. Now, again, along the lines of going to a spa for a few days, you can also practice getaways. Getaways, yes, why not? If you have the resource to get away for a day, get away for a weekend, 2 weeks, take a vacation, do it. No, it's not something we can do right off the top, but again, it's prioritizing, it's planning, it's being intentional. That is the way we're going to get the most out of our self care moments. So if you have the time, plan a trip. You deserve it. Everyone deserves it. We work hard. We take care of family, friends, children. You're doing your part. So take that time and don't feel guilty because all of us need a break. at some point in time. Now, one tidbit of a resource I did want to give you that I did come across not too long ago, which I wasn't aware of, is that there is something called, you ready? There is something called a weekend daycare. Have you heard of that before? A weekend daycare where they will watch your kids for a few hours. You can drop them off. I know there's a few in my city, but if that is something that you can utilize, why not? It's good to have a good support system with you, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's the daycare that your child currently goes to, or even if you're just watching them at home, that's great. But it's always good to have an extended support system. So, what does that mean? That means that you have more time to yourself, you have more time to get in one with self, you have more time to focus on things that are going to propel you further in your dreams and aspirations, and you have the time to go out, enjoy your space, enjoy your life a little bit. Not to say that you're not enjoying your life with your children, but to say that sometimes the duties and responsibilities that we carry as parents can be very taxing on our mental health and on our, as a result, our physical health. So, again, we want to make sure that we're using all of the resources available to us. We're not going down the path of burnout. I have been down the path of burnout. It is not a fun place, especially when the expectation as a parent is to be present, is to be readily available for the needs of your children. So utilize all the resources available to you. If this is the first time you're hearing about weekend daycares, I definitely suggest you look into that in your city and see if this is something that you can utilize. Weekly basis, monthly basis, whenever you need basis, but let's promote self-care in everything that we do. Now, the next thing that you can do as well, and this is a simple thing, this is something that is very easy to do, but sometimes we feel the guilt of doing it. Step away for 5 minutes. If you need to step away for 5 minutes, do not feel guilty that you are taking that time to yourself. You need to gather your thoughts. You need to gather your emotional state. You need to gather everything that is going to keep you ready and available to assist your children and to care for them. So, those are my tips today. This is our first video. I want to thank you for joining us today on Authentic Self with Calders. I am so happy that you were able to join us today, and I hope that you can continue to join us on future episodes as we walk this thing out. So if you want to be a part of the tribe and you want to grow with us, I definitely suggest that you hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more to come. Now, as far as key points to take away from today, firstly, quality self-care is the best care. Quality self-care is the best care. Self-care is holistic care, not just your body, not spending money. It is taking care of the mind, the body, and the spirit. Now, I do want to end this video with some key affirmations. First, you are worthy. Second, you are capable. And thirdly, you are divine. So thank you for sitting with us this afternoon. I do hope you have a great rest of your day or a great rest of your night whenever you're listening.